हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। श्री राम नाम नौका भवसागरी तराया। श्री राम नाम नौका भवसागरी तराया। मदलोभ मोह सुसरी किती डंकिती विषारी ते दुःख शांत वाया मांत्रिक राम राया। श्री राम नाम नौका भवसागरी तराया। सुटले अपाट वारे मन तारु त्यात विहरे त्या भादळातुनिया नेईल राम राया। भ्रमभोव त्यात अडली नौका परीन पुडली दरुणी सुखानुहाती बसलेत राम राया। श्री राम नाम नौका भवसागरी तराया। आम्ही सर्व ही प्रवासी जाणार दूर देशी तो मार्ग दाखवाया अधिकारी राम राया। आदेगना शिवंत जाण्यातना समर्थ तारी तारी राम राम राया दीनदास लागे पाया। श्री राम नाम नौका भवसागरी तराया। श्री राम नाम नौका भवसागरी तराया। हरि ओम।
Hari Om Amma, very nice. We require one anchor to hold on to cross over this Bhavasagar. So it is going to come in our sessions also that our mind needs one anchor. Who is my anchor? That is very important. Sri Ram is the best anchor. Sit straight, take a deep breath, head, neck, backbone straight. Keep a smiling face. Happiness comes from within. Stimuli comes from outside. Let us keep our body still. Mind in the present moment. Silent and alert. Let us let go all past regrets, experiences, keeping only the learnings with us. Let us let go all future tensions, anxieties. What next? Question must go away. Let us chant loudly. As the mind is powerful, strong, all the lingering thoughts vanish when we chant loudly with concentration. Om. Om.
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गजाननं भूतगणातिसेवितं कवित्तजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजं। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत् सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। हरि ओम।
Hari Om. Thank you very much, Lata Rajshekar ji. So, chapter 1, Arjun's problem, identity crisis, and confusion about what to do in this situation. Identity crisis means I forget who am I. Confusion about duty means I get confused about what is the role, what is the goal, and what is the situation. Second chapter, Lord first gives self-knowledge, 3 T's, transactional T, that is body, mind, intellect, transmigratory T, that is the ego, which goes from one body to another body, and the transcendental T, the real self. The nature is Satchit Ananda. So I must also know the nature of transactional self, transmigratory self, and transcendental self. That is very important. Then next topic Lord took after telling that these are the 3 selves. The first 2 selves you have. You have a body, not that you are the body. You have a mind, not that you are the mind. The second is a illusory ego which goes from one body to another body. And the third is your real self. So please always remember every day, morning, afternoon, evening, or 5 times, like in Islam, they have 5 time namaz. We have 3 sandhyas. Christianity has Sunday to Sunday. So we must have a practice. One of the interesting sadhana we can do, we can keep an alarm every 2 hours. I am Satchitanand. Only that alarm will come. Okay. Then again after 2 hours, alarm. I am Satchitananda. That is a very good sadhana because suddenly I remember, oh, this is what I am and what am I doing. Then immediately the next topic what Lord took is that what is your swadharma? Find out what is your temperament. If I do not have temperament for singing, I can try singing for myself in bathroom, but not outside. What is my temperament? That is my swadharma. And then how to do the duty? What should be the attitude? Now, this is one of the highlights of Gita compared to Upanishad, Brahma Sutra, other texts, because here is where Lord says that this is my song. Gita is my song because again and again Lord comes in every chapter about how to do duty and what should be the attitude, because Lord knows that it is very easy to know God, it is very easy to know Maya, it is very easy to know moksha concept, very easy to know a lot of things, but very difficult in life to find out what is my duty at this particular point of time, at this age, at this moment, and what should be my attitude. That is very important. So here we saw 3 verses. There are many verses, but we saw 3 important verses. Sukha dukkhe samekrutva labha labho jaya jayo. Here Lord starts saying that first thing what you do is that you be equanimous to the 3 results. Any action will give result. We are going to see Karma Yoga principles later on. But here Lord is introducing Karma Yoga concept. Any action will give results and there will be 3 results. Either there will be pleasure or pain, joy or sorrow, that is one. Either there will be loss or gain, second result, or there will be success or failure in the work or action I do. In all 3, try to be equanimous before you start the action. Now I know what will be the results. Finally, this will be the bottom line. After getting the results, do not try to be equanimous because it is very difficult. Point number 1. Second verse, karmanyeva dhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbu mate sangostu akarmani. Why I must be equanimous to the result? Because that is not in my hand. I have only adhikar, I am only qualified, I am only eligible for action. Result is not in my hand. Bhagavan says, I give result with your efforts. And there are many forces we saw which are responsible for giving results. So control the controllables. Do not worry about what is not in your hand. What will happen to India? What will happen to somebody else? What will happen to... But that is not in my control. What will happen to my children? What will happen to my grandchildren? They are there to take control of their life. Control the controllables is a very important aspect, and not that I must not expect the result. Gurudev and Lord says you expect highest result. I also expect that maximum people must attend this session. That is my expectation. Like in Taittiriya Upanishad, the Rishi declares that make me famous world over. Give me lots of money so that lots of people will come, because people normally go and want to listen to Bhimsen Joshi. Tomorrow if I say I am having a singing program in Saraswati Vidyalaya in month of May, I don't know how many people will come for listen to my singing. No, you talk, you don't sing, That's the reason I am not chanting also. Chanting, Lata and Rajshekar are trained, so they are chanting. So Focus on action. And do not get attached to inaction. That is a very, very important point, because that will create laziness. And then next verse, what we saw is the Chatus Sutri of Karma Yoga given by Vinoba Bhave, that we are going to summarize. As last time we mentioned, there were some WhatsApps also on me that this topic is interesting. So why Lord is saying is that action is important, and what is the attitude behind the action is more important, because Karma Yoga is not action yoga. Karma Yoga is attitude yoga. What is my attitude? Karma Yoga is not specific action of doing puja, going to temple, going and doing some social service, that we are going to see what are the myths of Karma Yoga and what is the difference between Karma and Karma Yoga also. Instigation is the first trigger for action for some of us. Instigation means I do action for proving something. Provocation or revenge, that is one trigger for action for some people. Example, Shakuni. Shakuni actually wanted to destroy the Kaurava Kula, though he was on their side. He was their coach. He was operating out of instigation of revenge, because his perception was that his sister Gandhari, who was from Afghanistan, current Gandhar is Afghanistan, who was forcefully married to a blind king, because Bhishma was there and they couldn't say no to the power of Hastinapur. And when they came there, they were put in jail, and all his brothers and father died in the jail. And that is the time he took a vow that I will destroy this Kaurava Kula. Very interesting. So we have to be careful that who is on our side and who is on other side, because what is their motive? The second trigger for action for some of us is motivation. So first is instigation, second is motivation. Motivation comes from outside. What is the external reward and recognition for my action? Duryodhan is an example for this. There are three kinds of motivation from outside which come. So there are two motivation. One is inner, one is outer. Outer is called as motivation. Inner is called as inspiration. That is the third word. So what are the three triggers? Instigation, motivation, inspiration. Motivation are three possibilities. Motivation from material, that is wealth, success, failure. Motivation, subtler motivation is appreciation, recognition, fame, power. And spiritual motivation is I want something from God. So these are all external motivating factors. Material is wealth, success, failure. Subtler, appreciation, recognition, fame, power. I do not want to fail is a greater motivation than I want to succeed. Spiritual is I want something from God. And then the third is trigger for action. Lord is advising to Arjun that these two you don't keep as a trigger, you keep trigger as inspiration. What is inspiration? Internal driving force, inner motivation. And Gurudev gave one inner motivation, inspiration to all of us. And Lord has given to Arjun that you fight without anger and revenge, fight without any hatred towards Kauravas, fight without attachment to results. And Gurudev gave one very important inspiration sentence which we have to by heart and remember: maximum happiness to maximum people for maximum time. This must be my inner inspiration. How can I make other person feel good about themselves? I'll repeat. How can I make the other person feel good about themselves is a higher inspiration. Mostly I'm talking about myself only, how great I am and how I struggled and what is my life and what do I want. But that doesn't make other person feel good. And this was the advice to Arjun, and according to me, one of the best advices of Lord Krishna to Arjun is fight without anger and hatred. That is very, very difficult because both are paradoxical. One point you are saying fight, another point you are saying the attitude must not be hatred, revenge, getting Hastinapur as a Rajya. No, that is not the motivation you keep. There must be maximum happiness to maximum people in Hastinapur for maximum time, and that is what Arjun did, because after he won the war, many people do not know the Mahabharata post-war, because after that Dhritarashtra and Pandavas ruled for many centuries, years, and they created prosperity, morality, and people were so happy in their Rajya. That is the trigger what you keep for action. And now one more verse Lord has told, and then we will revise all these things and go to one of the most important topic of second chapter, that is Sthita Prajna Lakshan. And that is Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. Be skillful and efficient in every action. So, this is completely misunderstood by many people, saying that you have to be very efficient in your action and efficiency must be your goal. That is true. But what is Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam? What is that efficiency in action is very important, because this is misinterpreted in many books as you have to be efficient in action, but that even a pickpocketer is. So Guruji gives one interesting story. There was once upon a time, there was a pickpocketer in the train. Very efficient in his action. Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. He used to pickpocket without any knowledge of other people what is coming out. One day, while pickpocketing in the train, normally he was a pickpocketer in the train, he saw another girl, very good looking girl. She was also pickpocketing. And he found out that she was also equally efficient, Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam, in pickpocketing. He got very impressed with her. He went to her and then, cutting short story, will you marry me? She also saw his efficiency in pickpocketing. Both of them got married. Two pickpocketers, just imagine getting married. They started enjoying their profession together. What a beautiful couple, enjoying pickpocketing and every day discussing about how we can be Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam, because they had read this verse. Now, after couple of months, they one day came home and decided that let us have a child and let us make a sankalpa that this child will be the greatest pickpocketer in the world. Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. He must be efficient in pickpocketing than both of us. So after a year, child was born. Both of them became very happy. And after some time, after few hours, doctor came and reported that there is one problem in the child. What? The child is not opening his fist. His fist is not getting open. Are baapre. So they were happy and sad. There are moments when we are happy and sad, sad and happy. Now what to do? Now they were very happy they got a child, but their sankalpa was not getting fulfilled, because if the child's fist has a problem, then how will he pickpocket? Because ultimately the efficiency in action in pickpocketing is with fingers and hand. So they came home happy and sad. And then they were sitting and then they prayed to the Lord, Bhagavan, we asked you a child, you gave us a child, we are very happy. But then we wanted the child to be better pickpocketer than us. He must be Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam, Super Kaushalam. And that moment the child started crying. And when they saw the child had opened his fist. And wow, the child had golden ring in the fist. And then they remembered that That nurse was crying and shouting that where her golden ring went away. So child on the first day itself had pickpocketed golden ring of the nurse who had picked him up when they both were sleeping. And they were so happy that they got a child who is much more efficient than both of them in pickpocketing, because he had started his profession from day one. In first hour, he had pickpocketed that nurse's golden chain in the finger because he had removed it. So Guruji says that yoga karmasu kaushalam means not that only skillful and efficient in every action, which is very important, but that is not karma yoga, because when we deal with karma yoga, all these myths will be destroyed, because there are so many myths about karma yoga. What is skillful in action? Giving up past baggages of good and bad deeds and then performing action. Whatever happens in office, it should not impact house. Whatever happens in house, it should not impact my office work. Whatever happens 1 hour back, that should not impact my this moment, what I am listening and doing. No, but this happened, that happened. That means I am not out of the past baggages. Every moment is a fresh moment offered to us. And the practice for this as being in the moment and mindfulness in every action. Now, this is picked up by Buddhism and many of the Zen, and they say mindfulness in action, that is yoga karmasu kaushalam. Every moment I must be efficient. But now we will define what yoga karmasu kaushalam, beautiful definition Guruji has given, which is the real definition of yoga karmasu kaushalam. Means, when will I call myself skillful and efficient in action is when my actions do not bind us. That is the skill I must have. Because actions are binding, exhausting, multiplying. One action I take of being born, then I have to study for 15 years, then marry for 40 years, and then whole work for so many years. One action can bind us, and many people, if you ask them, I am very busy, I am exhausted, I don't know, I don't have time. I don't have time. For the timeless, I don't have time, because actions are binding us. Actions can just multiply and bind us without our knowledge. So what is the skillful? Now it is a very beautiful definition. Those actions which do not bind us, those actions which liberate us, those actions which give us more inspiration are actions which are skillfully done. So what is the skill I must have in every action? That once that action is complete, it is complete in itself. It is not lingering in my mind for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 1 month, 4 months. No, 10 years back you said this, 5 years back you did this, yesterday you spoke this, just now you insulted me, this now happened. So I am sad, I am inefficient right now. Now I cannot think of doing my duty. That is what is telling Arjun, that is all over. Now you get up and fight. Be skillful in action. And this action must not bind you. Binding means agitation, binding means exhaustion, binding means sadness, binding means I do not have inspiration to repeat the same action. So, very, very beautiful. Now, Lord says, I know I have introduced to you the Karma Yoga. So now the fourth part, first part self-knowledge, second part Swadharma, third part is how to do the action, what is attitude. Lord has completed in the second chapter, and he says, I will summarize. Dear Arjun, now this is very, very important, because many verses are given here where Lord says the benefits of this action. Because on this basis, Arjun is asking one question. Now, Lord is telling Arjun that you get up and fight with this attitude. And the importance of right action is very important, because that is the only thing I have given you control in life. You have only one trigger, one control, and that is your action. If you do right action, you perform these right actions with a higher ideal. We saw in the Chatushsutri of Karma Yoga. Our anchor must be God, our anchor must be something higher, something nobler to achieve. And that way I will not get attached to a lot of things which are happening in the process. You perform actions without attachment, anxiety, insistence, resistance to the result. One of the formula, this is very, very important. We will summarize this in Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga, you want to summarize about all action principles, but one of the formula I must write down. Expect and accept. Expect the result, but accept the result. Not that I must not expect that this must not be my goal, this must be the goal and it must be higher. But whatever the result comes, I must accept. Acceptance plus independence is equal to happiness in action, and resistance towards the result. And another formula for result happiness, insistence plus resistance towards the result is equal to sorrow. So what is the formula for happiness? In day-to-day life, I can experience this every moment. Formula for happiness is expectance plus acceptance of the result plus independence in action is happiness, because then I'm independent to act because I've accepted what has come to me. And when I have too much of insistence and resistance towards the result, I forget about efficiency of action, and that is equal to agitation and sorrow. Okay, suppose I perform actions with this. What will happen? My mind will be balanced, equanimous, steady. All these are there in the verses. These are all verses there given by the Lord. Okay, suppose my mind becomes equanimous and balanced, then what will happen? Then my actions will be skillful and efficient. Okay, Bhagwan, then what will happen? Then my mind will become peaceful and alert. Chitta Shuddhi, that is your first goal of action. Okay, suppose my mind becomes pure, alert, peaceful. This is a measure of spiritual growth. How do I know whether I'm growing spiritually or no? Many people ask this question. I have been reading Bhagavad Gita. I have been involved in spirituality. I go to so many temples. I go to so many yatras. I am well read, but how do I know whether I'm growing spiritually or no? My mind becomes peaceful. My mind becomes alert. My mind remains in the present moment. My mind becomes pure. Chitta Shuddhi is a very clear parameter for self-growth for us to check. For myself only to check, not for others. If I am constantly worried, tensed, anxious, resisting, insisting, disappointed, cribbing, complaining, blaming, that means I am not growing spiritually. Okay, what will happen when the mind is peaceful? Then I will become fit to understand and experience this highest knowledge. Very important point. So this also answers this question, is that why I'm not able to experience that Satchidananda Swarup? Why, though my nature is infinite existence, consciousness, bliss, why I'm not experiencing that? Because my mind is not peaceful. Be silent and know God, Bible says. Peace of mind will lead to peace of self. Peace of mind is our means. Peace of self is our goal. Peace is not dull peace. It is alert, vigilant, peaceful mind. And that is what he is telling Arjun, that right now your mind is not at peace. It will not be able to focus on that highest truth and abide in it, experience the truth. So first of all, you create this internal condition, environment in your mind of peaceful, alert, pure. Then what will happen? Then I will be able to meditate well. So you don't go to Himalayas and meditate, because that was Arjun's question. Right now, focus on Karma Yoga. Right now, focus on your duty. Right now, ask all this question: what is my Swadharma? What is my duty? And whether this duty, before doing, after doing, during, whether my mind is becoming more and more and more and more peaceful. Again and again, we have to remind this, because many people do some social service. Many people go to temples. Many people help other people. Whether after doing that, whether my mind is becoming more peaceful and peaceful is the parameter to check. Because that is the condition for meditation. Then what will happen? Then I will go beyond fear and sin. Now all these are there verses in Bhagavad Gita. We are doing a summary. Huh? So he's promising Arjun that just by doing the right action, all these things will be accomplished. Just by action, karma yoga power, karma yoga glory, secret of action. Then what will happen? I will go beyond 3 gunas, bondage of action. Again, Bhagavan says, if you do not do this, then you will be bound by actions. Action should not bind us. My own action should not bind us. I will go beyond delusion. I will go beyond birth and death. No, but I want to take another rebirth. Yes, but then that will be again the whole process, but I can be the source of happiness. You will realize your own self, you will meet your own self, and you will come above the transactional and the transmigratory self. Finally, he says to Arjun that you will go beyond sorrow. And you will attain the Brahmic Sthiti. That is a verse he mentions. And this all will be accomplished if you focus on the right action. So very important that just by doing the right action, all these things will be accomplished. Now, Arjun is a very intelligent person, very efficient in action and very sensitive to emotions. He is an ideal candidate. Because what questions he asks, these questions don't come to us. So he says, Bhagwan, oh Bhagwan, I trust you. I know you are great, but then do really this thing happen? Are you sure that just by doing this action, I will be overcoming my sin, I will be going beyond gunas, my delusion will go, my fear will go, I will not incur sin, and I will realize that Brahmic Sthiti, which you're talking about. Not that I'm doubting you, but is it really true? So Lord smiles and says something which is the golden part of Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. So, but we'll see how Arjun puts the question. That is very important because art of questioning is very important. Now, very important point to note here, Arjun's grief is a little bit reduced. Now he started participating in the conversation. Now he started asking questions. That is very important. After Shravan, one of the things what I have to do is that I have to write, I have to discuss, I have to ask whether my understanding is in line with the scriptures. This second part, Swami Swatmananji says most people do not do. Whatever I have understood, they think it is right. So Manan has to be there because Manan is asking questions. Manan is reinforcing my understanding. Manan is discussing. Even though I know I must discuss with somebody whether my understanding is right. Whether are there different dimensions to this. So he started participating in the conversation. So now Lord was successful in his first surgery. That from a sad state, now he is participating in the conversation. He is asking questions on the current topic and he has understood the topic. He says, Bhagwan, I understood the logic, Sankhya, self-knowledge, I understood 3 selves, 3 T's. I understood Karma Yoga. You told 2 things right now, huh? Because on this basis, he is going to ask his question, which is the beginning of the 3rd chapter. But I am not ready to accept, Bhagwan, how this action will lead me to self-knowledge. One question. Second, Bhagwan, does really a person attains this highest state just by action? And a person will enter into samadhi just by doing action? Bhagwan, second also I want to know that, okay, somebody attains something, how? Why should I attain? Now this is a very important point. Huh? Somebody has attained the Brahmic Sthiti, somebody has attained enlightened, Buddha has attained, people say, okay, but I am not interested in that. Why should I seek that state what Buddha attained? I am happy in my current situation. My small family, my house, my car, my work, I am happy. Why should I seek all these things? How will it help me knowing this? Will it change my life? Will it change my current situation? Whether I am successful and happy right now, whether this will lead to total fulfillment, I do not know. One of the most destructive question in the mind is what next? Right now itself, 8:15, some of us have started thinking of breakfast. Because exactly 8:15, 8:20, somehow that breakfast topic comes. So what next? Can I be having that total fulfillment? Can this be lived in day-to-day life? So he asked one question. Arjuna Uvacha, very important question. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha? Samadhista Keshava. Sthitadhi kim prabhashit kimasit prajat. Bhagwan, I want to know how this person lives in this society, how this person behaves, how this person walks, what this person eats, how this person sleeps. Now, very important, what is asking is not this in this question. What is actually asking is, tell me in my language, I have not experienced that state. What is the definition, nature, vision, characteristics of an enlightenment person who has attained that state? Whether really anybody has attained that state? I want to know, because see, Arjun is a warrior. He is a highly successful person. He cannot think that there can be another state which can be higher than what he is thinking, because his state is happiness and success. But Lord is saying, no, there is a higher state than happiness and success called as total fulfillment. How is he described by others? Kim ka bhasha? How does he behave? How does he react to day-to-day life situations of family, work? How does this person talk, or is always in samadhi, maun? There are many people have all this misunderstanding that the moment one comes into spirituality, one is enlightened, the person must behave this way. No, nobody shouting, he's eating. One person went to Buddha and stayed with him for 3 months. He said that I am not so impressed with you. I heard so much about you. He told, why are you not impressed? He told, I am observing you for 3 months. I am staying in your ashram. Then what did you observe? You also sleep. I also sleep. Okay. You also get up. I also get up. You also eat. I also eat. You also talk. I also talk. What is the difference? Buddha told, I don't see any difference. That is the difference. How an enlightened person lives amongst us. We have so many images, that long hair, matted hair, saffron clothes, samadhi, some power, walking on water, reading our mind. How does he sit? Vajrasan, Padmasan, chair, or tiger sin? How does he walk? Or he jumps or flies in the air? Important question. What is asking are two. How does he live? And this is our sadhana. How should we live in day-to-day life? How should we conduct ourselves so that we reach that particular state through action? Now, very important, our action reaction depends on our vision of life. Before we summarize the Sthita Prajna Lakshan, this is an important point to note. Our actions or our reactions are dependent on what is my vision of life, what is my vision of world. Suppose my vision of world is bad, then my action and reactions will be accordingly. Suppose I say the world is cunning, my actions will be like that. And the classic example is that our reactions towards a tricycle. So one boy asked his father, Father, I want one cycle, 3-year-old boy. Father told him, I don't have money right now to buy a tricycle. No, but I want tricycle. But I don't have money. So the child kept quiet, went ahead and started playing. The child went to school, the child went to college. The father was very poor. When he was in the degree college, when he passed out the degree, the father told, I have got you a gift. Today I am going to give you a gift. What gift? I am a graduate now. Father slowly brought a tricycle from outside. Told, this is your gift. A tricycle? I don't want tricycle now. What? People will laugh if I sit on that tricycle. Because that person has outgrown that tricycle. Now I'm in college. I want bike. And somebody to sit behind on the bike. Gone, tricycle desire gone, tricycle attraction gone. Now I cannot imagine also that I want that tricycle. That is a gift I cried for when I was 3-year-old. So our reactions towards tricycle, balloon, ball of chocolates and diamonds is different. And a child's reaction will be different. This question I always ask, suppose before a monkey, you keep 2 bowls, one bowl of peanuts and one bowl of diamonds. The monkey will pick up the bowl of peanuts because he doesn't know the value of diamonds. Whereas an adult, intelligent adult, I hope, would pick up bowl of diamonds, because once I pick up bowl of diamonds, I know my 2 generations can eat any amount of peanuts. If you give a child one balloon and one 2,000 rupees note, at least now it is there, because when Modi will disregard that and keep it off, we do not know. But 2,000 rupees note and balloon, suppose we give to a child, the child will go towards balloon. An adult will go towards the 2,000 rupees note because the value is known. So now what is asking here, how does this Sthita Prajna react? How does this Sthita Prajna lives among us? And now beautiful verse Bhagwan is going to say, but before that, 3 things are important. He is asking 3 words. Sthita Prajnastha, Sthitadi, Samadhistha. Sthita Prajna means this person has no ignorance. So now how will you define a Sthita Prajna? This person has no ignorance about the self. This person has Sthitadi, no doubt, and Samadhistha, no lack of experience. So now Guruji has interpreted this very beautifully. Shravan removes ignorance. Manan, discussion, Chintan removes the doubt. I become convinced about it. And meditation, Nididhyasanam, removes lack of experience. Right now, my state is, I know, but I have no experience. I know everything, but I have no experience of the higher self. So, one who has self-knowledge and one who has experienced it and one who abides in it. Ramana Maharshi had not read any book, but he was abiding in that knowledge, experienced that knowledge. Having the self-knowledge completely. Who am I? So Sthita means abiding, Prajna means wisdom. So what are the pointers now? Very important, Bhagavan. I am not interested in all this Sthita Prajna. I don't want to become Sthita Prajna. What are the pointers for this? That what am I centered in and acting outside? Very important point. Whether I am centered as a husband, all the time I am a grandmother, I am acting outside, because there are some people who are all the time grandfather and talking to everybody. There are some people, the moment they become grandmother, they are grandmothers to everybody. Because my language is grandmother style only. Grandmother style is advising. Whoever comes, advise, because grandmother's job, according to grandmother and grandfather, is advising grandchildren and advising children how they must not make mistakes. So what am I centered in and acting outside? Whether I am centered in my body, centered in my mind, centered as Satchitananda and operating. Ego, power, relationship, seeker, role, identity. This is a very important topic. Whether what is my role and what is my identity, whether my role has become identity. All the time I am saying I am a husband, I am a mother, I am a wife, I am a daughter, I am a grandmother, I am a child, I am a sister, whether that has become my identity, that is only one role I am playing. For some time I play a wife's role, for some time I play a daughter's role, for some time I play a grandmother's role, for some time I play a manager role, sometime I play a damager role, sometime I play a subordinate role, sometime on one Sunday morning I play a seeker's role. No, right now I am a seeker of this knowledge. So Guruji says that first role I must play in life is a seeker. All other roles are changing every 5 minutes. What is my role and what is my identity? My identity is Satchidananda Swarup. All these are roles what I am playing for some time. Once that role is over, goal is over, finish. My main role must be a seeker's role. And my main identity is Satchidananda Swarup. That is a transcendental identity that I must remember. Whether I am assuming my role as an identity, how am I living in this world? Now, this is a very important pointer, because without this background, this beautiful topic, which is favorite of all Mahatmas, and they have given so much of bhashya on this, how am I living my life and how an enlightened person lives a life, how he conducts his life, and can I learn from his day-to-day action? And that is what Arjun's question is. Can I have an ideal to follow in life where I know that what will this person do in this situation I must do? I had mentioned this, one of the very important, interesting point to remember as sadhana is that in this situation, how would Gurudev react? There is a book also, how Buddha would react in this. Suppose I am stuck in a traffic jam, how would Buddha react? How would Lord Krishna react? How would Lord Ram react? How would Gurudev react? This question I can ask. Suppose I go to some office, how would Krishna would conduct in an office? How would Krishna conduct in a family? That way I must start conducting myself. That is why this Sita Pradnya Lakshan becomes very important pointers for our sadhana. This Sita Pradnya Lakshan are our sadhana. These are lighthouse in our sansara ocean. Without this, I will not know how to conduct my life. My achievements gives me admiration. My conduct or behavior gives me respect. So these qualities we are going to take it next time, because these qualities are not for judging others, but for self-development, for our sadhana. So there are 8 qualities of Sita Pradnya Lakshan we must by heart, and this will help us as our anchor, as our role model, that how Buddha would react in this situation, how Sri Lord will react in this situation, how Gurudev would look at this situation and react. So Arjun is asking that how a Sita Pradnya would conduct in day-to-day life. So there are 8 lakshanas given. Gurudev used to say that this must be by-hearted, because this is a practical application of how to behave, how to conduct, how to react. And what is the difference between reaction and response? Because this person is abiding in that experience. This person has experienced the self and now is conducting outside in the world. So Gurudev's 4 words I must remember. Last time I told only one, which many people liked. So what? So there are 4 regular words Gurudev used to use. Most of his commentaries will have these 4 words, which are very important. First word is so what? Word in the sense couplet. Second words he will use, couplet he will use very often. So what? Second, never mind. Third, bounce back. Fourth, keep smiling. These were Gurudev's famous couplets in most situations what Lord is telling Arjun. So what? Never mind, it's okay. Maximum what is going to happen. Everything is my Leela going on. You don't worry. Third, bounce back immediately. Don't waste your time brooding, complaining, cribbing, becoming sad. And fourth, keep smiling. That is the last message to Arjun in Bhagavad Gita in 18th chapter we saw. You don't worry. Keep smiling. I am there with you. Because when Lord is inside me, why should I worry? Why should I make my face constipated? So 4 words. So what? Never mind. Bounce back, keep smiling. 4 cornerstones for us to do sadhana, and we are going to see Sita Prajna Lakshan, which is one of the highlight of 2nd chapter in Bhagavad Gita. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you very much.